Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. In the last episode, we learned about what is architecture, software architecture, that is. But that still didn't fully clarify who is an architect, what does he do, how does a typical day in his life look like. If you want to become an architect, what will be your typical day looking like? Let's start with that. The architect, on a daily basis, works with the customer and the product management team in fine-tuning the what part. Typically, it's done in the beginning of a project, of course. Many times, a customer may not have a clear vision of what he wants. He may have the business requirements, some thoughts, some business processes in mind, but what can be actually done with respect to all the available technology, he doesn't know, he may not know. So it's the architect who explains, educates them, and thus helping to refine the requirements. Once these critical requirements are defined, he sits down, analyzes them again, and eventually synthesizes or creates the how part at a very high level though. And this is how he designs. He will also have to figure out a way to communicate his ideas, the solution ideas, to the engineering team. It could be through some text documents, it could be through some diagrams, or even at times, not diagrams, not documents, but writing a small code, proof of concept, what we call, or prototype, what we call. Along with the team, he also has to decide the development platform. He doesn't generally decide alone, he will involve the development team. Is it going to be on the Java platform? Is it going to be on the .NET? Which cloud provider suits best for this particular application? Because the considerations here is not just the technology, it's also to do with the cost, how fast we need to develop, do we have manpower resources for this? Uh, if it is not there and if it is a very new kind of technology, then are there people who are available in the job market where we can quickly hire? So there are a lot of constraints and a lot of things to consider before the development platform is considered. Another important one I forgot to mention is if the rest of the system in the entire corporate, let's say in an enterprise, everyone or every other product is on Java, then probably there's no point, doing this one single product in .NET. Probably it's a good idea to do it with Java only, and vice versa. For a proper functioning of the team and their output, some standards, development practices have to be laid out as rules. It could be coding standards, how to backlog, create the backlogs in what tools, whether it's going to be Jira or some Azure DevOps or some other system. What is going to be the code review process? Is the code review going to be a stage gate? What is the testing approach? What kind of DevOps systems will be set up? All of that has to be decided at the early stage. The architects shall also have to collaborate with other architects within the organization and outside the organization in active way or in passive way. They will also have to coordinate and collaborate with the customers, the product management, and almost all other stakeholders who will use this particular product. Architects are also supposed to coach the engineers about the current architecture, definitely, about the technologies that is being used currently, definitely, but also upcoming technologies, upcoming platform versions, new technologies that are coming, even though it is not going to be in our current product. Architects, because they are supposed to do that study anyway, so they are the right people to go ahead and kind of evangelize these kind of new technologies to the team. Over a period of time, the code develops the technical dates. What is a technical date? We will learn about it later. These technical dates often lead to architectural erosion. Now, I used another complicated thing, architectural erosion. Don't worry about that. I will explain it also later. One important aspect of product development is internal quality. The quality of the architecture, the quality of the code, how the classes are created, what is the coupling, what is the cohesion, all of that. And once again, all of this we'll go through in much more detail in this series. But it's the architect who is himself a stakeholder for the quality, along with the team, of course, and he is a joint owner of quality. It's not just the team because the team is developing the code. Architect does not own the quality. It's a joint ownership. Apart from this, perhaps most importantly, he will have to continuously upgrade himself. Upgrade with what? Upgrade on the technology, on the domain knowledge, competitor knowledge, market knowledge, and so on and so forth. He may be very skilled in one or two technologies, very deep down, hands-on on one or two technologies, what we call vertical learning. But he also has to know about all possible parallel technologies. So if he's a Java expert, he will also have to know about the .NET. If he's a, let's say, native Android expert, he will also have to know a good deal about Flutter. If he is an Angular expert, he will also have to know a great deal about React and Vue and other UI platforms. And that is what we call horizontal learning. He is one person in the team who may not be as much hands-on today as a developer, but he has to have a very good amount of horizontal, parallel, peripheral knowledge because he is the one who is going to coach the team about what is good coming up, what has what problem, because not all technologies may be suitable for a particular product. Some technology may have some limitation. So he has to know all of that. Now, because you have come here in my bootcamp session, I thought that I should also tell you a few things. So, how do you keep improving on software architecture? On one hand, you have some enforced learning through university courses, online courses, certifications, studying about global standards, or getting certified in global standards from committees like SEI, Software Engineering Institute. You should also go through those real good authors, thinkers, their websites, their books, like I mentioned in one of the previous classes, Robert C. Martin or Martin Fowler and people like them. And unfortunately, you're in an industry, you'll have to keep reading, keep learning, till you retire. Period. There's no escape from that. And then I have an interesting idea, and I have suggested it to many, and everyone came back and said that this works wonderfully. Doesn't matter whether you're a college fresh engineer. Maybe in your organization they expect an architect to be minimum 15-year experience. But what you should still do is this: go to any job site, LinkedIn job site or any other job site, search for the job of an architect. You may come across some 10 such job postings. Go through the JD, the job description of each one of them. And once you go through that, it will automatically point finger to you silently that this is the subject that you don't know. So basically, you are trying to do a gap analysis of what you don't know. We all know what we know, but it's very, very important to know what we don't know, right? And for that, you need to go to this job sites. And once you list out those gaps, then that helps you to, go back and study and learn about those gap areas. Here are also some certifications. So on the left hand side of it, it's more to do with some generic courses, generic software architecture concepts and theories and all. They're not easy ones, by the way. And while on the right hand side, they're more hands-on, maybe product specific, but they're more hands-on certifications on different topics. And end of the day, they all are about software architecture. So I think in this and the previous class, I've been able to give you a very good overview of software architecture and architects, right? Going forward, starting next class, we'll start getting into slowly more and more into the technical classes, and that's, I'm sure that's what you have been waiting for. So because the architects, their job, their work starts with understanding the requirements. So my next class is going to be understanding requirements. Please do watch. Meanwhile, have you subscribed to this channel? You should. If you like this channel, if you think that you are getting benefited, you should subscribe so that you get notifications whenever I release a new module. And please do like, please do share this with all your friends if you think that it's good and it's beneficial. Thank you so much.